For real, guys. Oh my goodness gracious. What is going on, folks? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the show. Something I thought I was done talking about months ago has now kind of just resurfaced yet again. Now, I don't need to tell you guys this, but if you have some sort of anger in you, something pent up on one side or the other, whether it be Nickmercs or whether it be Huskerrs, let's just, I don't know, direct that towards the comment section and leave it there, or just leave it inside yourself to boil up. All right, there is no need to go and target anyone. I've mentioned this several times while covering this. It was actually because of a recent post by Huskerrs involving a lady, which for some odd reason, community members of Nickmercs, so it seems, some diehard viewers, some viewers thinking they were a defender of Nick's honor, took it to actually make comments about that individual, which, again, it was already enough towards the end of this. This has been going on for months. We've covered it several times. I'm sure if you're watching, you are well aware of that. It's been pretty clear, like, hey, don't go send your hate anywhere. By the end of it, I think both sides were like, this is kind of just childish jabbing back and forth. And the viewers this time taking it to a length that no streamer, I don't think, ever wants you. And Nick talks on this further, wants you to go to fight and go to war for them. All right, I think both of these guys can handle it themselves, and especially targeting an individual that has nothing to do with Nickmercs versus Huskerrs. All right, she had nothing to do with it. Reading through those comments, it's just kind of, it's embarrassing, really. And I hope none of you guys, now I'm not a big respectable kind of guy, but I hope you guys wouldn't go to bat for me to that extent. I love you guys, all right? But some of the comments I read through obviously needed to be addressed, which Huskerrs did later on, and Nickmercs first taking his stream about that. We will detail all of this, guys. It's going to be some lengthy clips out there, and probably not the last time we talk about this one. So now that you know, Huskerrs posted an image out there with a friend, a lady friend, however you want to classify that. Some Nickmercs community members, maybe, not even maybe, they took it way too far, to which led to Nickmercs' response on stream. There's actually a lot more to this response, by the way. It seems very clear his apology is not to Huskerrs, it's to the lady he was with in that picture.
Before we get into this, fasten your seatbelts. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Dong dong. All right, man. Listen. So I'm gonna mute all alerts real quick and just have a little AB conversation between you and me. I'm literally kicking. My shoes are off. I'm kicking my feet up. We're gonna have a little chit chat. If you want to have a chat with me, nice. If not, get fucked. All right. First things first. I understand. I want to just make it clear that I understand my position here. In the stream and in the community. I understand my position on Twitch. I understand who I am. In the real world and on the internet and shit. Like I know who I am, and I know that sometimes, I might say some things or do some things that isn't exactly quote unquote the best for leading by example. I understand that, but even with that being said, I think that I do a pretty good job. I think I do a pretty good job across the board. Like when you look at everything, I think I do a pretty good job. I think I can do better, and I think that as I get older and I go through things, I think I'm only getting better. I think, and as I say everything that I'm about to say, I want to just make a note real quick. Like we all got to understand, I'm not putting myself on some pedestal. I make mistakes. I've said some stupid shit in my life plenty of times. Some things that I regret. Some things that I wish I never said. I've thought things that I wish I never thought. And sometimes I wish I could go back to the old me when I was 5 years younger, 8 years younger, 10 years younger, and slap the shit out of them. I mean, I do. But I'm also aware that you guys are in that boat too. So I don't want anybody, including myself, to act like we're better than anybody or we're above that. We just fly. I just float around everywhere, and I'm Mr. Perfect. Hell no. And we're still learning. I'm 30, and I'm up here talking like I'm 70. I'm not. I'm 30. I don't even have a kid yet. I'm still a kid. I play video games for a living. you know? And a lot of you guys are in that same boat too. You guys are growing up, man. We're all learning. We're getting better. The saying goes, you learn as you go, and you do. You learn as you go, all right? Now, so I don't want anybody to get reamed too bad on either side of this. Like, I don't want people to get too upset with people for saying things, and I don't want people to get too upset for people, for saying things about what things have been said, okay? Just understand that we've all said stupid shit. Nobody's perfect. That's my point, okay? All right. Now, putting that behind us, and on that note, let's go forward. Here's the thing. You guys cannot go and harass people. You can't. Okay, you can't. You can't do it. I mean, you can't, and especially, you cannot go, especially, you cannot go and harass like other people that aren't even a part of what you might be upset about. Now, to get real direct, Huskerrs put out a picture or some shit, okay, of him, and I don't know who she is to him. It appears to be his girl. I don't know, I don't know who she is. I don't want to say it's his girlfriend because I just don't know. Either way, this woman has not done a thing to us. I mean, she's nothing. I mean, she's just living, man. Takes a picture with the guy, and there were a lot of really shitty comments about her on that picture. So just let me just hammer this part out quickly because I don't want to stay here too long. That is not okay. It's not okay. Now, you know that. I mean, I don't even really need to say that. You should know that. Okay? I don't in leading by example, I mean, I don't ever do that. I never go after people. Like, if I'm having problems with somebody, I never go after, other entities. I keep it direct. I got a problem with you. And I do have a problem with Huskerrs. I got a problem with him. You're goddamn right. I don't like the motherfucker. But she ain't got nothing to do with that. And people were saying all this extra stuff, man, and that's up. That's not who we are. We're not. That's not MFAM. That's not. The MFAM. People have been talking a lot about what the MFAM is. They've been trying to define it, like break it down. A lot over the past day as well, because there's been a little bit of confusion. You know what I'm saying? And I think there's people that have it a little bit wrong on both sides. A lot of people were obviously saying that, we don't make fun of chicks like that, especially when they ain't do nothing wrong. I mean, that's just some immaturity. Now, listen, I understand. I don't want to act like I'm above you. I'm not. I have said things to men and women in my past that I shouldn't have said. I'm not above you. I'm coming at you from a way where, listen, I've made those mistakes too. It doesn't make what you did okay, but let's learn from it and move forward, is what I'm saying.
So after all of that, all right, we now finally have Huskerrs giving his response. I encourage you guys, go check out the beginning of Nickmercs/stream. Go check out Huskerrs' full response. I'll be reading it for you guys word for word, but if you want to read it on your own, it's a lot of details we actually were well aware of. And if you guys are somehow not aware of the situation, we have covered this over the past 2 to 3 months. The two kind of joking and jabbing little bits of information back and forth for several months. And it's now Huskerrs giving his side of things, to which I think we can all agree eventually these two should really just, get in a chat together and clear this freaking stuff up. As Huskerrs in his post goes, before I get into what happened yesterday and today, I want to give everyone a complete rundown of how this entire situation began months and months ago for full transparency, and because there is still a lot of misinformation floating around, I also want to mention I've been ignoring everything negative concerning Nick and I've been trying to move on for months. Several months ago, Symphony and I played against Nickmercs and Swag in a Warzone Duos Kill Race tournament. The way these tournaments work is that one team would host the first map and the other team would host the second map. Swag hosted the first first map. After the first map was over, Symphony and I went to take host, and we ran into stream snipers and cheaters several times, which forced us to restart the map a couple times. Nick then asked me to let Swag host to reduce the risk of cheaters since he was on PS4 at the time. But I refused because we deserved to get hosts like the rules said. He asked me why I wouldn't let them host, but all I'd say was that they were allowed to host the second map per the rules. The reasoning was that since Symphony and I were on mouse and keyboard on PC, the lobbies would most likely be sweatier on our host, and we knew that we would play better than Nick and Swag against sweaty players. Because of this, Nick began to hate me and refused to play with me ever again. Initially, this did not bother me because Nick can of course like and dislike whoever he wants, but over the next month or two, there were multiple times where I'd ask my other Warzone friends like Cloaksy or Tim to game, but I'd hardly get a chance to game with them because Nick would be in the group and say stuff like, "Nah, I don't F with that dude." I also then started getting tons of messages in my chat every day asking me, "Huskerrs, why do you and Nickmercs never play together anymore?" which I always ignored. Fast forward a couple months, Nick hits me with the unfollow on Twitter, which in my eyes is a big FU to fellow streamers, and that same day, some dude in my chat asked me the same question. Annoyed about the entire situation and the unfollow, I told my chat that Nick was being petty about the tournament and acted like a man baby. I also said I'll say it to his face, bring him in a Discord, which was my way of saying I had no problem calling him out directly instead of saying it behind his back. For some reason, tons of people, Nick included, interpreted this as me saying I'd literally go up to him in person and say it to his face in a threatening manner, which is silly because why would I fly to meet someone in person and get physical over a Warzone disagreement? Nick catches wind of this from someone sending him a clip of my stream and then goes onto his stream the next day to call me a 5'7", fruitcake, weirdo, loser, a couple other names, and says I should watch what I say about saying it to his face because look what happened to the blue-haired dude, a reference an encounter with him and Ninja in person. I don't even know what happened. A couple days after that, Aiden makes a Warzone tier list, which I had a watch party for on my stream. When he gets to Nickmercs, I tell my stream that Nick is dog crap at Warzone and has the reaction time of a dead walrus. Fast forward a couple more days and Nick gets another clip sent to him of my stream from months prior. Before this entire crap show even started, the clip was being a pre-game lobby, opening up Twitch on my second monitor to see Nick in the fitness category while he's doing a workout stream, and me saying, "How are there 30,000 people watching someone work out? I don't get it." This was me joking with my chat and making a generic statement. The next day, Nick takes this extremely personal, goes on his stream and gives a 10-minute speech about how I'm an extremely jealous, toxic person trying to belittle the work that he has done to build this community, and that I'll never get anywhere near his level in viewership for various reasons, mentioning things like how his YouTube Shorts channel is doing better than my main channel, and so on. From this point on, I stopped saying anything at all concerning Nick. For the last 3 months, I've had to put my chat in sub-only mode for long periods because of people from Nick's community constantly coming over and spreading hate and toxicity. There is also multiple comments from his community on many of my tweets, Instagram posts, YouTube videos, and TikToks. I understand Nick has a huge platform with thousands and thousands of fans that he can't directly control, but the fact that his community has continued to do this for months after the arguments ended baffles me. The most upsetting part about all of this and what ultimately caused me to speak up about this publicly was what transpired yesterday and this morning. Yesterday, I posted a selfie with someone on Twitter, and within hours, I had at least one of Nick's Twitch mods, his own graphic artist that works for him, and people that Nick follows harassing both me and the other person in the picture. This morning, Nick responded on his stream. You can listen to his response here. If you listen to the video, Nick speaks for 7 minutes about how he believes you reap what you sow and that I deserve everything that has happened to me, once again bringing up the tournament from several months ago. I don't hate Nick and I never have. I'm not out to get him. There is literally no good reason for me to have bad blood with him. I was very frustrated about how things happened and spoke up about it. We both could have handled it differently, but at the end of the day, this needs to be squashed because I'm tired of constantly dealing with hatred and toxicity. I'd be more than happy to speak with Nick privately to end this, but I felt it necessary to inform people of everything that happened so they have a better understanding. So clearly, if you guys have not been following this piece by piece over the past many months, it's probably hard to catch back up how both sides have handled it. As Huskerrs said, could have handled it very differently. There were certainly childish statements made from both sides. There were certainly statements that some sides maybe said was a joke that the other side did not take as a joke, and I think that goes both ways. It's certainly a very complicated, very layered situation, of which Nick did respond even further in today's stream, saying he didn't apologize to Huskerrs. He didn't intend to. He was apologizing to the other person who faced that form of harassment, and goes on, as you guys heard, to correct his community to not do that kind of thing. But I don't know if the squash and the beef part is ever going to happen, because he really re-clarifies he does not like a guy like Huskerrs. He's not frick with a guy like Huskerrs. But I certainly appreciate where Huskerrs is coming from, especially with the harassment and toxicity reaching this kind of level. It's just disappointing. Like, for me personally, and again, you guys can have your own stance, have your own opinion, feel free to. I've been talking about this for a long freaking time. You know, I started to feel bad after a while, for sure. It's entertaining, certainly entertaining to see, from my perspective, that at the time, you know, a top earner, the top earner in Warzone, a top competitor, go at it with one of the biggest names on Twitch. That's super entertaining for me, right? It's my job to talk about these things. I never wanted you guys to go at them directly. You know, the comment section, for sure, free game to see what side you take. What do you guys think about these jokes and jabs they're having at each other? And at sometimes these jabs were very serious, I'll give you that, but it was entertaining to see two very well-known figures go at each other. But it certainly reached a point where it's just too far. And it almost seems like some diehard fans out there and viewers who think that these guys need defending or to attack for that person, for the streamer, as if that's your job in life. That kind of just, it ruins all that. It brings it to a breaking point, and especially when you bring in outside people. You bring in people not even related to the initial fight. That's just the online community being the online community, hiding behind things, and that's not cool to see ever, as I'm sure you guys are well aware, and I hope you guys aren't the people doing that. So, what do you guys think? Probably not the last time now we're going to talk about this. I thought we were done, but here we are yet again. Nickmercs versus Huskerrs. What do you guys think? Till next time, do me a favor, all right? Sit freaking back, enjoy yourself, and realize at the end of the day, you don't look like this, so you're pretty well off, all right? The frick? I'm going kind of crazy. I've had a lot of caffeine today. I'll catch you guys back here next time. Take care. Yeesh.